As soon as I saw our seeds were expected to arrive today, I jumped on the computer, drew up some new plant markers, and got printing. I know it'll be a while before these even emerge from the soil, but I couldn't help getting excited. So I recently ordered some of the super hot category of peppers. The Bujalokia, or ghost pepper, the Carolina Reaper, and the Chocolate 7 Pot. And there's some habaneros that are incredibly mild by comparison. And these are the plant markers I made to match, aside from the habanero again, which is just a recolor of a different chili. I know it's not quite the same. And today we're going to be starting them. I'm using these little Mixie seed starting kits I got on Amazon a while back. They're little 12-cell trays with humidity domes, and then a bottom tray for bottom watering. The dome has a little damper on top too, which is really nice if you want to let just a little bit of air into it. They're a little bit flimsy, but for the most part they've done quite well for me in the past, and the bottom watering is incredibly easy to do with these. I think they were around $15 or so when I bought them, but I'm not sure what they are now. I'm using a basic seed mix that's specifically designed for starting seeds. Usually these types of mixes are fertilizer-free and only contain things like peat moss, coconut coir, and vermiculite. Fertilizers are typically unnecessary for starting seeds and can sometimes hurt the seedlings early on. The particular mix I have is incredibly chunky, and I'd really recommend using a sifter of some sort if you have one available. It'll get all the chunks isolated and pass all the fine particles through. The chunks are really annoying, and they can also get in the way of the seed's root development if you leave them unchecked. Once all the soil's in the cells, I usually just poke a little hole in the center with my finger for a spot to put the seed down. You can use a pencil or whatever you want if you don't want to get your hands too dirty. It compacts the soil a bit below the seed, but not too much to make it hard for the roots to get through. And then on this one I found a big old rock, which isn't so great, but I can just pop it out and add a little more soil, so I'm glad I caught it now, I guess. And then it's just a matter of dropping in each one of the seeds. I'm going to do 3 cells of each of the type of peppers. Normally you'd want to do 2 or 3 seeds per cell, just to make sure you at least get one that successfully germinates, but I decided to try my luck with just one each. I don't know why, but here we are. You can use tweezers for the seeds if you want, but I find it just as easy to drop them in with my fingers. As long as your hands aren't soaking wet or anything, you should be fine doing this. Once they're all in, I like to just pinch the soil back over the seeds and add a little looser top layer a little bit later on. I'm going to bottom water this seed tray for about 15 to 20 minutes to get some water all the way up through the cells. It won't wick up super fast since there aren't any roots to pull it up, but it'll get the whole cell pretty well saturated. You can also pre-moisten your mix if you'd like, or just water traditionally with a gentle shower from above. I added a little bit of soil just because the seeds were a little bit shallower than I wanted them to be, but you don't have to. And I also made sure to lay out my markers before I stepped away for too long, just so I didn't forget which row was which. There's nothing more frustrating than having to wait upwards of 200 days to find out what type of fruits emerge on some very similar looking plants. This is also a good time to write down the date you start your seeds and the plant variety on your plant tags. So after the 20 minutes, I gave the seeds a little once over with this mister, just to ensure they don't dry out, and threw my tags in. And now these seeds will just live in this humidity dome for the next week or so, with some light watering in between. Normally with peppers or any other heat-loving plants, you'd want to have these trays on a heat mat or in a temperature-regulated area, but we have kind of a unique situation in our house. Our seed starting area is a marble slab on top of a radiator, so it stays pretty nice and warm all winter long. While it's currently home to our baby kale plants, soon enough it'll be converted to entirely seedlings for the upcoming season. I'm really excited to finally start some seeds off, and I hope you enjoyed this short overview of how I start them. I can't wait to watch these grow and eventually find a home in our outdoor garden, and I hope you'll join me along the way. Feel free to subscribe if you'd like to see more, and like the video if you enjoyed it. Thank you.